at a time. And if you don't know, now you do. This is your daily financial news. This is a news show we do live 7 days a week. We've been doing it live for greater than 2 years. Yes, you can go back and look at your birthday, your mom's birthday, your kids' birthdays, and see what was going on in the financial world. There is a playlist for the daily financial news. For the first couple of years, I wasn't great at putting it in there. So if you wanted to search your birthday, just go to my channel, put in your birthday, May 15th, June 1st, whatever it is. See what we talked about. Second, want to let you know that we had another series of great interviews with a non-QM lender, non-qualified mortgage lender. Yesterday, whether you had damaged credit, whether you have non-paying tenants, whether you want a 30-year fixed financing on apartments, yes, he can do that. We talked about portfolio loans and other products to really fit your needs across the country. A couple of quick reminders. Again, check out the playlist. In 3 short weeks, he has gotten his own playlist, which is pretty cool. Velocity Mortgage, and it's because I think he's providing value to the one rental at a time community. We gave him some time to test him out, and near as I can tell, from what I'm hearing from all of you is, again, he can't promise yes answers, no can I, but he is promising quick answers, which is frankly all I can ask for. And again, a non-QM lender is something that would have been very valuable to Olivia and I 12 or 15 years ago. Right, the banks said no. The banks got very restrictive. They didn't want to lend to us, so we had to go hard money. When I was building my portfolio, it was bank financing or hard money. And today, the non-QM space has blown up. Velocity Mortgage is a publicly traded company. Hedge funds are in it, and they're really filling that need between banks and hard money because not every deal fits a bank financing. So if you haven't figured out how to use them, you need to. You need to figure out how you can build a business model around it. Some pretty good stuff. So pleasantly surprised. Next up, we do have our live Q&A, which we do once a week. We will be doing it today at 8 a.m. or 28 minutes. I'll do it right there from my computer. I've got a list of questions. But most importantly, I'm hoping you join and ask me a question. We go for up to 60 minutes. And so far, I've been able to exhaust all of the questions except for 2 Saturdays where we just went long. So know that I will be there for you in about 27 minutes. As for the daily financial news today, there's a couple of things. We'll talk about the week ahead first. Again, it's Saturday. It's time to take a breath. It's time to look for what we have next week. And next week for me is really going to be an important week because it's about the consumer. It's about the consumer. If you were to push me for what I look for as paramount as someone who has an economics and a master's degree in business, I am interested in the consumer. The consumer is 67% of our economy. They are the buyers of homes. They are my tenants. They are my competition. Are they fear or greedy? What is going on? So I'm always interested in learning about the consumer, especially today, where for the last 14 months, we've had a K-shaped recovery, where a part of our economy was cranking and people were doing great, and another part was hurt. My hope is this is growing back together, and we go into a V-shaped recovery. So let's see what happens. And what do I mean by that? It's retail week. Last week or the week before was big tech. Next week is retail. We have Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, TJX, just to name a few. Walmart will be a big one for me. Walmart will let us know, frankly, how did their shoppers do, right? They did have stimulus money in the quarter. So did they go to Walmart and shop, or were they going elsewhere, right? Were they trading up? Home Depot and Lowe's, obviously very home improvement related. It'll be interesting to see what Home Depot talks about inflation, right? When you or I have shared stories about building a fence that used to be, 1,800 and now it's $5,000, and it ain't because of labor. It's because of the pickets and 4x4s and all of that. It's crazy what's going on with lumber. So it will be interesting to see if Home Depot or Lowe's talk about inflation. And again, it's more than lumber. It's windows, it's wiring, it's everything seemingly. So it'll be interesting to see what they say. Then you have TJX and other discounters reporting. So it'll be interesting to see where people are shopping. The consumer is very important. They are the number one thing that I try to get a pulse for, right? And it's really, are they fearful? Or are they excited? I always say fear and greed, but greed doesn't really, it's not really the right word, right? Are they spending or savings? I think that's a better way of saying it. Is the consumer spending or are they saving, right? So that's what I'll be looking for. In addition to that, we have a bunch of Fed speak. They've come out of their kind of window and now they're kind of presenting again or talking. We do have the notes from their Fed meeting. Their Fed meeting notes this week are pretty useless in my opinion. Their meeting was before that shockingly bad jobs number, before CPI scared us to death, before PPI was even worse. Oh, so I don't really think their notes will be very interesting. In fact, it may prove to be they're out of touch, which would be damaging. And again, just to talk about all the things that have happened in the last week or so, because people are looking at headlines and again trying to scare everyone. Let's talk about the week hiring, right there. You know, the week ago, 8 days ago, it was very clear that we were not hiring enough, or not enough people were saying yes to being hired. Looks like 16 states have already signed up to cancel the government goose up of $300. That is, it went from one state, I think Montana was first, and now it has 16 states. Then we have consumer inflation, quite the scary number. If you just look at the headline, 4.2%. I guess I want to say a couple of things on inflation. First, I think the Fed is behind the curve. I am fearful for inflation. But this number, this 4.2, it is such a dirty and noisy number, it is almost irrelevant. When you peel back the largest contributors to it, it is cars because of the chips, which is clearly transitory, airline tickets, hotels. There's a lot in this number that's kind of, yep, the economy's reopening and makes sense. In fact, I think two of the largest things I track were actually negative or basically zero for the month. And that is gas. Gas was negative. Gas ain't negative where I live. And rent. Rent, I think, was up only 0.2. And rent is up big time around here. So it'll be interesting to see what's going forward. This 4.2, just a noisy number. Again, I think the Fed is behind. I think inflation was here. But this 4.2 wasn't the number to say it's here. Maybe next month. PPI did come out at 6, something north of 6. I don't remember what it was, 6 point something. That was more interesting. What are the producers paying? And that goes back to Warren Buffett saying everything is more expensive, right? That was more, when you look at the numbers, PPI was more concerning than the one-off 4.2 on CPI. I do think wage inflation is also here. We do have record savings that we still have to look at, right? What's going on with the consumer? And that's the whole, are they spending or savings? Right now, they've been saving the last 14 months. I believe we're in the light and they will start spending, vacations, Airbnbs, all of that stuff. We do have 8.1 million job openings, right? So there should be more job growth going forward. We will have, I think, an uptick in participation, which is a number we'll talk about on Thursdays. But that's because as kids go back to school and their after-school activities start to open up, we'll actually have more women enter the labor force, which actually could make the unemployment number rise. It'll go from whatever it is, 6.1 higher. Lots of counts of how many women have left the workforce because they've assumed the child care responsibility. That's a big, big problem. And then again, as I said, wage inflation is coming. As for the week, we got some real estate data you and I have to pay attention to. We got Monday home builder sentiment. It will be interesting to see what they have to say. I'm most interested in inflation. What are they talking about? Lumber, windows, the cost, what costs are they passing through? Are they still slowing down? We have seen lumber roll over here the last couple of days, not really in the quarter or in the report. So it will be interesting to think what builders are saying. Tuesday, housing starts. Housing starts have been retreating because of all of the input costs rising. I think that will be a trend in this week as well, but we will see. And then Friday is a big number, existing home sales. For me, it'll be interesting to see what's going on with inventory. I think we'll see a slight tick up in inventory, but the real big numbers start coming next month. Again, I'm still calling for 2 million lit available homes by the end of July, which kind of feels funny at the moment, but we shall see. So that's what we have there. What else do we got? Oh, San Francisco. Man, San Francisco can't catch a break. First, I've reported a couple of times about one bedroom rentals, right? Apartments down 45%. Ouch. Well, looks like big tech is exiting a stage right or stage left. It looks like big companies like Dropbox, Salesforce, PayPal, Zendesk, Uber have all taken what they call impairment charges. For example, Dropbox, it took a $416 million charge for vacant leased space in San Francisco it's trying to unload. Ouch. Salesforce, $216 million. Folks, if you ever wanted space in San Francisco, it is time. They will give you significant discounts. They've had examples of companies who have leased now vacant space at $75 or $80 a foot that will now sublet it for as little as $20 a foot. By taking an impairment charge, they've already assumed all responsibility, so they can give a significant discount to get a little money back. So pretty crazy. And again, lots of people have left. Cloudera was an example referenced in the article, have already left San Francisco and moved to the Bay, right? To, I think it was Palo Alto. So lots of stuff going on. Total write-downs in excess of $1 billion. Man, if you own commercial space in the city, ouch. 18.7% vacancy, not good. And lastly, that's a total of 9.7 million square feet. Well, good news, San Francisco. You don't want tech in San Francisco. You don't like all the techies, making everything so expensive. They be gone. So let's see what you are left with. It looks like maybe biotech might move in or something else. But yeah, San Francisco, you have some significant pain ahead. All right, everybody, have a wonderful Saturday. It is the weekend. Have some fun. Remember, it is a great day to make some money. Let's be better than yesterday. And if you come on the live Q&A, I'll see you in about 18 minutes. Bye-bye.